Nobody satisfies you this before your first promotion. The habits that made you a top performer will quietly destroy your leadership. Monday morning. Conference Room B. A manager sits across from HR, hearing the words nobody prepares you for. Your team has filed a formal complaint. 6 months ago, this person was the top performer on the floor. Promoted. Celebrated. Given a team of 8. And now, somehow, everything fell apart. This story plays out in thousands of companies every single year. Today we are going to break down exactly why talented people become terrible managers and what separates the ones who recover from those who never do. Most new managers got promoted because they were brilliant at execution. They wrote the best code, closed the biggest deals, or ran the tightest operations. But nobody told them the job description just changed completely. Instead of doing the work, your role is now to multiply the output of everyone around you. And that identity shift breaks people quietly. A McKinsey study on leadership transitions found that first-time managers receive less than 10 hours of training in their entire first year. So what happens next is predictable. They keep doing what made them successful before. They jump into projects uninvited, rewrite their team's work at midnight, and micromanage every single deliverable. The team slowly stops thinking for themselves because the manager will just redo it anyway. One engineering director at a Fortune 500 company told me something that stuck with me for years. I promoted my best engineer and lost a great engineer while gaining a terrible manager. That is the trap. Competence in one role does not guarantee competence in the next one. New managers desperately want their team to like them, especially when they were peers just weeks before the promotion. So they avoid hard conversations like their career depends on it. They approve mediocre work without a single note. They say yes to every time off request, every deadline extension, every half-finished deliverable, because saying no feels deeply uncomfortable. But something ugly happens beneath the surface. The high performers on the team start resenting the manager. Because when you tolerate low performance from some, you are silently punishing the people who actually carry the weight. Google ran an internal study called Project Oxygen that analyzed thousands of manager reviews across the company. The number one behavior that separated great managers from forgettable ones was not friendliness, it was being a good coach. Coaching means telling someone their presentation needs a complete rewrite before the client sees it. It means sitting down for the uncomfortable conversation about 3 missed deadlines in a row. Managers who fail are the ones who confuse kindness with avoidance. Real kindness is telling someone the truth while they still have time to course correct. Corporate environments reward visibility above almost everything else. Managers learn this fast: your boss's opinion of you matters more than your team's daily experience. So they spend hours polishing slide decks for quarterly leadership reviews while their direct reports sit in total confusion about what the actual priorities are. They volunteer the team for high-profile stretch projects without asking a single person. They present wins in meetings using the word I and distribute blame in private one-on-ones. And the team notices every single time. They always do. A Gallup workplace report found that 70% of the variance in team engagement traces directly back to the manager. Not the company perks. Not the salary bands. Not the office snacks. The manager. When your people start feeling like tools for your next promotion, they mentally check out and the quiet quitting begins. Once that trust fractures, no amount of town halls or team lunches will rebuild your credibility. Failed managers sit on decisions like they are aging fine wine. They wait for more data to arrive. They schedule one more alignment meeting. They ask for just one more stakeholder opinion before committing. Meanwhile, the entire team is frozen. Projects stall for weeks. Deadlines slip without anyone officially acknowledging it. And the manager labels all of this being thorough and responsible. But indecision is itself a decision. You are choosing the status quo by doing nothing. Amazon built this understanding into their leadership principles with a concept called bias for action. Jeff Bezos wrote in a shareholder letter that most decisions are reversible two-way doors and do not need months of exhaustive analysis. The managers who thrive in corporate make decisions at about 70% confidence and then adjust quickly as new information arrives. The ones who fail keep waiting for a certainty that never actually comes. Your team would rather follow someone who makes a wrong call and corrects course fast than someone who makes no call at all and lets everything drift. The final pattern behind management failure is the quietest one: stagnation. They earned the title and somewhere deep down assumed the hard learning was behind them. They stop reading about leadership. They stop asking their team for honest feedback. They stop watching how the best operators around them actually lead. Meanwhile, the workplace is shifting under their feet every single quarter. Remote and hybrid teams, async communication tools, completely different expectations from employees who entered the workforce after the pandemic, and this manager is still running a playbook from 5 or 6 years ago wondering why nothing works anymore. The strongest managers treat the role like a craft that demands constant sharpening. They ask their team in every one-on-one what is working and what is broken. They find a mentor who sits 2 levels above them and is willing to be brutally honest. They talk about their own failures openly so that others on the team feel safe doing the same. Growth is not optional when you are responsible for other people's careers and livelihoods. If you are managing a team right now, or about to step into that role for the first time, here is one thing you can do in the next 10 minutes. Open your phone or laptop and send a short message to each of your direct reports with one simple question: what is one thing I could do differently to make your work easier this month? No survey link. No formal 360 process. Just a genuine human question from someone who actually wants to hear the answer. The managers who fail in corporate are almost always the ones who stopped listening somewhere along the way. The ones who succeed never once assume they have it all figured out. Your title is what made you a manager. But your team is who decides whether you are actually a leader. If this helped you think differently about what leadership really means, subscribe for more honest conversations about growing in your career. That's a wrap, thanks for watching. If this gave you one idea you can use today, hit like and subscribe. See you in the next one.